Today you join me on a cold November day in the UK and I'm reviewing the F-Pace SVR. And it's like comparing two cheeseburgers, a normal F-Pace being the single patty cheeseburger which does the job for everyone, and the F-Pace SVR is like buying a triple cheeseburger. Do we need it? Probably not, but it's bloody nice. Welcome to Driven Plus and I'm Max Aftervani. Now I've actually been really excited to get this on the channel, and my God does it sound insane, in which you'll hear very soon. And you know what? I'd have one of these over the Range Rover Sport SVR. Number one, you can't say I own a Jag, and number two, I think the size proportion looks better. This is the first SUV Jaguar has produced, and it's the first performance SUV Jaguar have produced. And thank God, JLR, for giving this a V8 treatment. Now, as you can see, looking front on, it's in a very aggressive looking car, but yet at the same time, it's very elegant. These massive radiators going on, SVR badge, these LED lights are absolutely beautiful. And of course, one thing which I like the most to make it that stealth look are these bonnet vents here. And especially when you're driving it, whether you're in the driver's seat or passenger seat, you can see them and it just reminds you that you're in something rather special. Now, under the bonnet of the Jaguar F-Pace SVR sits a 5-litre supercharged V8. And yes, it is the same engine you will find in the F-Type SVR and the Range Rover Sport SVR. However, it's been slightly detuned, 550 horsepower, 700 Nm of torque. Top speed, 176 miles per hour, and it'll do 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds. So let's find out. So there's one problem. Jag state it will do 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds, but it doesn't have launch control. Anyway, on your screen now, you will see the stats that are in my favour or not in my favour on the Jaguar F-Pace SVR. Now, I'm going to turn the traction control fully off, put the gearbox in its S and put the car in dynamic mode and put everything in its favour. So let's brake boost it, hold it down on the brake, right foot accelerator. There we are, and go. That's strong. 3.94 seconds. It's a sub 4 second car claimed. That's quick, that's really quick. Now, one thing I love about the Jaguar F-Pace is the side profile. Just look at it. Coming down to the wheels, 22-inch forged alloy wheels. Now, I'll be interested to feel how they respond on the road, whether they're going to be uncomfortable or whether they're going to be comfortable. So stay tuned and find out. But yeah, you get the SVR badge there, love that. 4-pot calipers up front. You get this fin here to relieve pressure in the wheel arch. Another fins going on here for some airflow. I would have imagined 22-inch on the rear, however the tyres are wider. And of course, it's a 4-wheel drive system. Be a bit weird if it wasn't. Let's go have a look on the rear. Now look at the way that sits. It's got a beautiful bottom. Now, comparing this to a normal F-Pace, you've got the red reflectors here. Obviously, you've got the SVR badge and you've got these fins down here for airflow. And of course, these quad tailpipes, which is a QuickSilver exhaust. And you can just hear it purring now. And this is what it sounds like when we give it a rev. On a cold day like today, that heat is rather quite nice. Let's go have a look inside. Now, the interior of this generation F-Pace is quite different to its facelift. However, you get a 10-inch infotainment screen. But after I reviewed the new Range Rover Sport and new Range Rover, coming back to this system, you actually realise how much of an upgrade that new system is, because this system is starting to feel a little bit dated. However, it's really easy to use. Build quality is really good. Jaguar, very nice use of leather and all the little touches such as Jaguar in the air vents there. And one thing I love is the focal point of the centre console, that gear stick there. The use of high quality materials in here makes it feel that extra bit more special than your regular SUV, such as the suede headlining, the cross stitch in the seat, I like that, and the steering wheel, SVR badge there, the little details, and it's got a heated steering wheel. So on cold days like today, it's quite nice. And you also get heated and cooled seats in the front, and they haven't forgot about the passengers in the rear either, because they also get heated rear seats. Now, let's get out on the road. I absolutely love V8s. There's one problem with modern day V8s though. They're too reserved and they're too quiet. Not just the case with any V8s, pretty much any engine these days. Nothing you can do. Particulate filters, resonators, and of course, there's a way around everything, which is the case of this F-Pace SVR. Just listen to this. Oh, just listen to that. And in case you're wondering what that is, that's a QuickSilver exhaust system. That's the one to have on this car. It sounds so good, as you can tell. Now, when I reviewed that Alfa Romeo Stelvio Quadrifoglio a couple of weeks back, if you want to watch my review on that car, click on the banner on your screen. However, I'll put the link in the description below. When I reviewed that car, I compared that against the X3M or either the Macan GTS. But I'll tell you what, this car didn't come in my mind one bit. And I'm sorry, Jaguar, because what a car this is. Will I still have the Alfa now? No. Because of that V8, listen to that. Now everyone's at the performance SUV game now. It's a flooded market, so you really have to be attractive, and I think this car is. It goes up against the likes of the Stelvio Quadrifoglio, X3M. I'd put it in that class. Would I compare it against the X5M? I don't know, I don't think so. However, I'd go as far and I'd compare this to the Aston Martin DBX. But all those cars I've just mentioned then do not have a rampaging supercharged 5 litre V8. So how does it respond? Very, very nice. If I put this in dynamic mode, the steering wheel sharpens up, the gearbox becomes more responsive, which is what you'd expect anyway. Suspension wise, the front is 30% stiffer than the normal F-Pace and also 10% on the rear. And Jag really haven't just put a big engine in an F-Pace and kind of sold it, no. Jaguar have brought the active differential from the F-Type into the F-Pace. So the F-Pace SVR is the only F-Pace with an active differential. So the F-Pace SVR is the one to have. Even the rear arch vent helps reduce lift and pressure, meaning the overall stability of the F-Pace is just better at high speeds. Honestly, this has got some serious kit. Oh, it just sings, just listen to that. It's got to be the best soundtrack of any SUV on the market. And it's so lively, it loves to be revved. Just listen to that. I'll tell you what, you really would be the cool dad taking your kids to school in this. Come on kids, time for school. But daddy, we're late. There's no stopping us. We've got an F-Pace SVR. It's probably true. But I'm impressed with how responsive it is under hard driving. But what's it like if we take it out of dynamic and we drive it like a normal car, like you would 95% of the time? And I gotta say, it's so comfortable, so refined. Even on those 22-inch alloy wheels, going back before, what's it like? Smooth. Really is. Really nice. And you don't have to drive this car fast to enjoy this engine. It just wafts you around and you just feel like a king. That tone is really, really pleasing to hear. Coming out of corner, just purrs away. But the gearbox is nice and responsive. That's an 8-speed dual clutch transmission. You can put it into sports mode and then obviously put your gears up, put your gears down. So you've got manual setting. Then you can play around with the paddles, which are nice to hold. They're not cheap plastic, they feel nice. How are the brakes? Well, it's a big car to stop, weighing in at 2.1 tons, so they've got to be good. They've got to have big stoppers, and they do. 395mm discs behind the alloys, and they're gripped by 4-pot Brembo calipers. For a big car like this, I would have expected 6 pots. Not that much of a big of an issue, but I'll let you off, Jaguar, because they respond quite nicely. And here we go. I've saved the best till last, the MPG. What have I averaged today? 16.9 to the gallon. And if you're thinking of buying a Jag F-Pace SVR for your daily commute, you're either mad or mad, because she's a thirsty girl. However though, on a commute to work, if you're going to use the cruise control, it's really, really easy to use, and especially the adaptive cruise control, and especially the attention to detail that Jaguar go into. To set the distance between the car in front, it's another Jaguar F-Pace. I love those little things. Thank you for watching our video on the Jaguar F-Pace SVR today. I hope you enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it. It's like sitting in an armchair strapped to a V8 with good suspension. I'll catch you next week. Thank you. Please like and subscribe. See you next time.